Hello there and welcome to another pocket project. Got a really lovely simple one for you today. So you need your piece of paper. You can have it printed on both sides if you want. I haven't, but you might want it printed on both sides once you see it made up. So basically we're going to cut out a rectangle. Whatever height you cut your pocket to, you want the length to be double. Alright, so if I cut it to 4 inches high, you'll need it at 8. If you cut it to 5 inches high, you'll need it at 10, and so on and so forth. Alright, so whatever the height, double the length. So I'm going to do mine to 5 inches, which means that I'll need this to be 10. And it needs to be a you know, not a thick piece of paper, because it makes it difficult to fold. I'm sorry, that's my washing machine in the background, you can probably hear. You know, girl's got to do her housework still. So 5 inches high and 10 inches long. Now I'm doing it this big so that you can see. I normally do 4 inch by 8 inch. Okay, so we've got our rectangle and we're going to fold it in half. And then we're going to open it back out, and we're going to open it back out with the back side facing us. So I'm going to fold this corner down towards this centre fold. I don't want it right on the centre fold, but I want it right next to the centre fold. Then we're going to flip this over to that side. And this is why we don't want it on that centre fold, because otherwise you won't be able to flip it over. And then I'm going to fold this edge down. Right, so we're folding that corner down on top of this. Now it's not going to fit perfectly because of all the thicknesses of paper, so you might find there's a little bit of a border showing. And that's the basis of our pocket. So you would add it to your page down these two long sides down here. So you've got your pocket down here, and then you would flip that open, and flip that up. So now you've got all this as extra writing space, and then you can close it back up. You could put a little button or a little tab down in this bottom corner to help you to lift it up. You could even put a little magnet or a Velcro dot down in the corner as well to hold it in place so that it's not springing like it is at the moment. Right, so that's a really nice, quick and simple pocket to make. You just need to be aware of any directional paper, because as you can see, this is now upside down. If I fold it another way, so if I fold that corner down first, then flip that over, then flip that down, this is now of a better directional with the patterned paper. Right, so you might just want to test that out, unless you get an all over pattern where the direction of the pattern really doesn't matter. This next one I want to show you, I'm not sure whether you'd call it a pocket, more of a tuck spot really, but I still think it needs to go in the inspiration book, and I'm not even going to demonstrate it to you because it's really simple. All you want are some scrap pieces of paper, and these were about 2 inches wide, and the length that I've cut them to is well, they're about 5 inches in length, so a 2-inch by 5-inch length. And as you can see, I've alternated the colours on mine, and I've done a border punch along the top edge. You then need a piece of backing paper, and you're going to glue down the first one at the top, just a line of glue. Alright, so it's not even a thick line of glue, you just glue it down in place. And then the second one, you glue it again in the same fashion. Now, how far down you have it is up to you, but I wanted mine overlapping relatively well. So these are overlapping by about sort of, what, 3/4 of an inch-ish, so that there's a nice little tuck spot area. And I did 4 in total. Okay, now the reason why I'm showing you this is that if you have got some journaling cards and they're not very thick, they're just paper thin, they will slot in there really nicely. Okay, so it just holds them in place. So that's one way of using them. Another way of using them is you can actually attach them to your page sideways on. And then if you've got long things, a little bit like this long advert, or if you've got, say, some vintage checks, they also slot in there really nicely. And if you put them right the way down to that bottom edge where you've glued it, it seems to hold it in place. It's not a permanent fixture, obviously more like a pocket, but it still works well enough that it will hold your items in place. So I just thought that that was rather a nifty little idea really, and I wanted to share it with you. I hope that you've got some inspiration from today's 2 pockets. Hopefully I'll see you on a future video really soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Bye.